everyone, and welcome back to War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. We looks like we picked up Treasury Islands without a fight. I haven't even set anything up to take some of these bases because, for one, they're just dots. Although I don't want him to sneak in and use them as patrol craft bases. Anyway, so we've got Sally's night bombing Chrome here. We don't take any damage, it looks like, and he loses at least one Sally there. And that was it. But yeah, some of these bases I feel like eventually I'll clean up, but also I don't have a problem um capturing these bases without invasion like we've been. So we'll see how many we can grab that way, and otherwise I'll just send some Marine Raiders to take them. So I'm bombarding Ponape with some destroyer minesweepers because um, I have extra where they're not doing anything. So I fired them up to Ponape. Ooh, we took a hit. Yeah, that's not going to be good. So obviously he has these coastal guns firing back, um, but we're hitting the base and then we're going to slip out of there, hopefully without losing a ship, because I'd hate to waste a ship on this. Um, I have no idea how much damage we're going to do, but I just figured if we could knock out, my hope was to knock out some of the aircraft at the base, but we hit nothing, and we take a hit, and that's it. Now it looks like we were firing at fortresses. Maybe that's why we didn't hit any aircraft, because of the fortress he has here, this Ponape Naval Fortress, which of course in return fire we took enough damage to be on fire here for the Chandler. Should be able to get out of there, but let's move on. Okay, of course we got activity here in this area. I'm not, my brain isn't working. I'm not sure what the name of this sea or air, waterway is, but we're trying to intercept stuff that may or may not be coming um, through the Straits of Malacca or into Palembang or out of. So looks like we got 2 hits. Should sink. Yes. Unfortunately, we didn't take any return damage. I have no idea what it was carrying. It could have even been empty, but yeah. Well, it'd be nice if we could get a hit on those subs. It's possible. I actually don't know this as a fact. I have a hunch that it's possible we can hit without it being reported to have hit. But in fact, the hit reports I assume are false. Uh, just because it's been too many of them. All right, so here's where I'm bombing this time because I keep assuming he's going to attack my 3 regiments here, which would be easy for him to, I think, with all of what the assets he likely has in this hex now, I think it would be easy for him to dislodge me here. But we'll see. Um, so that's why I'm bombing this to soften it up. If all we do is increase the fatigue and disruption, I think that's fine. That's gonna the bombings east of Xi'an is those are gonna hurt for multiple reasons. Um, but yeah, it is clear terrain. I really need to. What I'm gonna start working on is getting some AA units into Xi'an and Changsha. I have some Indian AA that has been freed up. I have lots of anti-aircraft that I brought over from India into Burma, and I believe we have enough to spare at least a couple of anti-aircraft regiments to go into China. So it's going to take a long time because of these poor roads, but that's my objective. Because even if we lost to Vengeance 1 here, again, we're hitting it with everything we can, including the dive bombers, because hopefully we are beating up these ground troops, 21st Division, d- again causing disruption and fatigue. But but yeah, I mean, if we can hit one or two sallies when he bombs Prome because of our anti-aircraft there, maybe getting it into China will have value. I'm mining the Rangoon because one thing I'd like to do is push into Rangoon. I have no immediate agenda to do so, by the way, but and I don't know that it would affect his shore bombardment um, ships because they can probably fire from outside of the where the mines are laid. But eventually, when I'm ready to push into Rangoon and he wants to come and bombard me, I want him to be, think twice before he does that. But also, one thing that I find interesting is if he comes up with some minesweepers, I've got some aircraft on naval attack and we can have some fun there. Um, so yeah. That's very likely. He probably has some DMS or other minesweepers that are doing nothing, and might as well keep them busy. Our carriers are back here, off of Kusai because I don't know where his carriers are. I had some radio contact that made me think that they were within striking distance. So I backed off a little bit um, to see if our patrol aircraft could spot him as he approached us. But either it was could have been radio from a sub. In any case, I don't know. Still don't know where his carriers are. Um, and that's the other thing. Um, ooh, in bombing these air bases, we actually hit possibly a truck. So as we push closer and closer to Japan, the threat of land-based and carrier-based air I think, shoots up exponentially. So the Marianas, until we have a carrier battle, the Marianas make me nervous, and make me think that we may have to go west along. Okay, so here's the land stuff. West along the Dutch New Guinea, and then kind of north along some Dutch islands, maybe even hit southern, do the opposite of what the Americans did, and go through the Dutch and um, into the Philippines instead of Marianas and then Philippines. Anyway, all right. Basically, I plan to just jump right into April 8 because nothing of note to need to interject here. I don't think, anyway. If you'd like to know something, let me know. All right, it's April 8th, 1943, and we'll see where this takes us. All right, so we got these hurricanes up um, a few days ago, a few turns ago. Well, technically days a turn. But yeah, we got these hurricanes up night fighting. That's not what they're designed for. But we'll do what we can to, well, hey, we shot one down and do what we can to disrupt their bombing run. And we do have anti-aircraft guns to also do what we can. He doesn't get any damage in on us, so that's good. And looks like he's spreading the love around. Hey, we were able to shoot one down with our aircraft. I, I'm hoping he'll stop doing that, but we'll keep flying night fighters just in case, because I don't want to turn him off and then he sneaks raid in. But on that note, I do have night fighters in the theater. I think I have to. I think I'm working on their training. I think I have to get them like bought out because I think they're locked in at India. But maybe I put them at Prom, but I might put them at Tungu now that we're trying to build that base up. I don't know. Prom might make more sense though because that's almost level 9 airfield, or it's gonna be, and it'd be nice to get some air cover over. Okay, I think this is an accident, but that's okay. I am dropping mines there again. This may be a quick turn, I don't know. I do have bombing runs, and he likely does too, but maybe it seems faster because didn't have any real sub activity before jumping into the air. Wow, this was pretty devastating. We, we do have forts here. We have forts and terrain. Why can't we get this successful in his when we bomb him in terrain? I'm not sure I understand. Um, tank division right here. Now, we're hitting something, but it's probably just fatigue and disruption. That's okay because, oh, flak. Uh, it's okay because I really want to, uh, keep him from just pummeling us if he attacks us here. That's the desire anyway. And late sweeps coming in. Hey, vehicles, getting into the vehicles here. Maybe tanks. It is a tank division. Ooh. Now that's a Japanese air unit attacking our sub. That's not ideal. Oops. Um, uh, yeah, that's what I was looking for. I was thinking, wait, where's my mine? I'm curious how many mines each of these bombers drops. I could probably look it up, but I'm just, again, I'm trying to just fill this harbor up so that if we move into there, deters him. But chances are he'll, like I've said before, he'll probably sweep it, but uh, you know, force him to have to do something. And this is the last time I'm going to drop mines. I'm going to shift to hitting the base itself. Maybe not that base, Pegu or Mole Mine, something. But I have some thoughts that I may have already mentioned, but I have some thoughts about what I'm going to do with my air units um, in the very near future. And it looks like we'll be done here shortly, and then I'll go over the map and discuss that. All right. Yeah, that's it. Kind of uneventful. Now I had an attack going south of Tungu because he still had his Air Force battalion there, but he snuck out. No, that's not true. I'm thinking of the turn before. Um, I'll talk a little bit about that too. I see Will Ferrell a lot, or W. Ferrell. I call him Will Ferrell. I see him in the pilot messages a lot. All right, got a lot of stuff this turn. All right, let's quickly go over this. I'm trying to shift these Raider battalions, and I've got other things coming from Numea. I wanna push a bunch of stuff to the front. I don't have a specific objective for these guys yet because there's only so much they can do with in battalion form, but I can maybe be a pain somewhere on the map. It's just that I I don't want to just have troops in the back. Even if I don't have a specific agenda for them right now, I want them to be closer to the front so I can fire off whatever I want. But let's look through this. I mean, if you want to, feel free to look at it with me here. But um, we got at least one fighter here grounded, but on the carrier. But we got these two LSIs. They had been damaged at various places, but I mean, and they were at different ports. But we pulled them here to Sydney, got them repaired. We're ready to go. Looks like I got an issue with this one. Need to put it in the shipyard or something. Milne Bay, we got repairs, and then this Farrell guy. I don't know why I see him a lot. Uh, but we got an LST cargo ship in the East U.S. Tanker cargo. Yeah, a few things. This Chinese core that'll be nice. Put them in a strategic spot, hopefully, one that is advantageous for us. And let's take a look at air losses. We got 10 to 10. We lost 2 to fly. He lost 2 to air. Otherwise, 8 and 8 ops losses. Okay, so 10 to 10, but we have one extra here somewhere. All right, so see these topsies? He's flying again, either dropping guys in supplies or pulling guys out. And I have a long range cap. I think it's over Madang. And I think that we were able to shoot down or damage 5 of these so that they crashed in their duty. So I'm pretty happy or glad that I positioned those guys, those air units, because I did anticipate that. He may or may not have the aircraft to replace them and maybe even the pilots, but it's just nice to know that he'll have to get those operational, and it'll take a little bit. I can't say that all 5 of these are topsies. I mean, because it's 11 to 10, it might just be 4. But Sally's, he lost 2 air to air in those night raids and 2 in ops. So there's that, and then there's our aircraft lost. Again, too many air transports. It's got me wondering if he's. Oh, um, I wonder. That's pretty long range. I wonder if he's flying something also. Anyway, I'll have to think about where I have these operating and losing. If I'm losing them over the Southwest Pacific, I'll probably stop doing that because I hate to just waste these C-47s. We saw already the loss of these 2 Vengeance ones, and lost a few other things to ops. All right, pilots. We only lost 2, 2 more than I'd like, but 2. All right, last turn, nothing sank, or at least verifiably. And yeah, the last thing we sank looks like the Mizumaru. What was that? Yesterday, the day before. All right, so um, 8,900 endurance. Not a bad ship. All right, moving on. Okay. I'm going to be relatively brief because there's not much to talk about. That's one of the reasons why. Okay, so if we move here to the central, I'll call Central Pacific Theater, you can see Kusai Island has been, um, the port has, is level 1 and upgraded. That's what I was trying to get. So we've upgraded the port to 1. I need it to be all the way to 4, but also we're bringing in some naval support very slowly heading that way. This is carrying naval support, and this is not. But we also did a fast transport coming in here that's probably already heading back. Yep, empty. To drop off some of this unit, this guy here. We brought some engineers and aviation support. The rest of it's probably sitting here, 104th USN. We may have some remnants here still. Nope. Looks like we got everything. The APDs. Okay, so these guys couldn't, the LSTs and LCIs couldn't get everybody. So I put whatever couldn't fit on this little task force on the APDs. They shot in here, unloaded, and they're already heading back. And then we're slowly getting in with our LSTs and LCIs. We're getting there very slowly, 4 to 5 hexes a turn. So we're looking at basically 2 more days before we can offload what we got on this boat. At least maybe 3 days, but I hope it's 2. And then we can we can get some USN, I mean naval support. We can get some naval support here and unload much quicker. But you can see we already have like a good amount of engineers, but these ships are carrying some engineers as well. So I'll just hit this right here. We got 4 more vehicles and 8 more engineers in this base force that well, I should say that's a total of 8. We already brought over 4, so I don't know. The math is hurting my head, but the point is we'll have a few more engineers and engineer vehicles to add to this total, plus aviation support, plus we're almost to level 1 air. Then I'll bring some fighters here and just have them cap right here, a fighter squadron, and between the fighter squadrons on the carriers, escort carriers, and the fighter squadron here, maybe we'll shoot down whatever he's flying over here to investigate and inspect. But what I'm really excited about is a level 7 airfield and flying heavy bombers off of it, hitting all the way to truck. That's what was for. Because once we neutralize truck, we can take Ponape whenever we want, and Eniwetok, and I think I'll take both of these bases next. Um, Leave these for rear echelon troops. Maybe some guys that are sitting in Western U.S. still readying. We'll get them to help capture some of these bases, because once we capture these two, he's going to have a hard time supplying this area, and the this is what I was talking about in one of my recent videos. It might have been the last one, um, or the one I recorded just quote unquote yesterday, the April 7 playthrough. I may have to go up to Wooleye. Anyway, I may have to go up here, and then because the air capacity max is 3, I may even have to take like Ulithi, but that has also max 3 air capacity. See, I could take Yap. If I could get up to Yap, I think with Yap, I could take the Marianas. But that requires us to slowly I don't know what probably this is 00, is just a guess. And then, but maybe we can take this and then this, because I need Yap for my heavy bombers. Um, I mean, heck, we could go to Bebel Daub. This is precarious though, because if he has like Betty's or Nels up in here, this is dangerous. Whatever we do up here, and that's what's making me nervous. Is the closer we get to Japanese home islands, the more chances he has of building up his torpedo bombers, his land-based torpedo bombers to hit us. So one thought also is to just get the northern coast here, Hollandia, let's say. Hollandia would help us maybe secure Walleye, and we could also go to this direction and then up this way. And I'm not picking anything specific, but just like maybe take this base, which has air capacity max of 8, okay? Then work our way this way, take Bubble Daub, Yap, that kind of, and then this way. Because he also could base his land-based torpedo bombers up in here, and that's not ideal, but it's also not very likely if you look at the capacity. He never built up some of these bases. But yeah, I mean, this is a route and this is a route. But what makes me nervous is just launching from, let's say, Ponape up into here, and you get up in here and you start getting harassed by land-based bombers, and even drive down his carriers from somewhere. He could have his carriers based at Saipan. Um, I mean, maybe even Guam, but or Babel Daub. We can neutralize truck, but that doesn't mean. But he still could have stuff all up in here. Now, in a we talk, we cannot get this airbase up enough to get some heavies up in here. Plus, look at the range of that 26. And I don't know how much I want to fight for truck. It depends on what he's got there, but it's an atoll, I thought. Maybe not. But if it was, that would be dangerous. But I think we could take this. I think we could take this and this. Although he's got a pretty decent amount of troops here. But I think we could take these two and then either work our way like skirt this way so that hopefully he doesn't spot us from up here. We'd have neutralized truck by then. Skirt around like this, pick off this, pick off this. This could be taken maybe by some raiders. Um, Pick off this, and then uh, again this way, maybe Yap or something. We'll have to look at that, but that's long term, longer term than actually. But I still want to have that big picture strategy discussion. Maybe this is part of it, but still. The South and Southwest Pacific, uh, the short term, I'm content where I'm at, but that's very short term. I don't want to be complacent and I want to keep the pressure on, but I think I'm going to leapfrog from Shortlands to Kavieng, right? I mean, look at that. That's kind of a small force. Should be able to take that. So jump up here, take that. Just I mean, skirt around that. That's pretty heavily defended. It would take a lot. Plus, jungle, so it's times two. But I think if we can get this, secure it, get some SBDs and things parked here, he's not resupplying Rabal the rest of the game. Well, except for maybe with subs. But subs, trust me from personal experience, that's really hard to supply bases. Um, Madang is our next goal. We've actually got troops marching there slowly. See 18 already, 24, 24. So these guys are moving a little bit faster. Um, and then uh, and then we'll just quickly take this as well. But then I want to naval drop or amphibious attack probably the rest of these bases up here and Admiral and get Mount Manus because if we can have these two bases, the rest of this is cut off for sure. And then yeah, and then we secure the northern approach to our stuff. And but I may take the Southwest Pacific and just keep hopping this way, and the South Pacific can join with the Central to try to take some of these, and I think that might be pretty cool. But yeah, that's another time. But in the meantime, you just see the same old, what looks like the same old bombings. But it's just to keep the pressure on and set the stage for our invasions. Near term, I'm going to call it near term invasions. Um, and then we have um, so because there's a river here, I don't want to march across into this. He owns the hex side, so it would be a shock attack, and I think he has a lot of teeth here. So I'm not marching west east. I'm marching southwest. Now I trust me, I am keeping troops here because I don't want him to easily just get back into this area. But I'm mostly moving guys here because this is a pretty dense area. I mean, I'm going to make it a dense area of troops, but I do also have flak here. That should help anyway. It's clear though, so I don't like that. But we also have fighters flying cap over it. Um, and then I'm going to get back into bombing these bases. You can see Pegu here is almost fully repaired, as is Rangoon. And Mole Mine, all these bases are getting too repaired for my taste. So I'm gonna basically, I may let the twin engine bombers hit this and keep hitting this because I don't want look at our assault strength 380. I don't want to lose all this because I've neglected something. So we'll keep bombing the ground troops here, but the heavies are probably going to hit. Maybe I'll hit Rangoon first, then Pegu, then Mole Mine, and then maybe I don't know. I'll pick, but maybe I'll hit Pegu next. It is the least damage, so. Um, but anyway, and then China. But oh, real quick, but basically the ground situation is starting to resolve itself and clear up. Now, what he's potentially doing is forming a line here that will make it hard for me to like get around him. I'm sending a regiment up this way to take this position because all we've got here is a battalion that won't hold anything. And so I'm sending a regiment up to do that, and I'm sending some artillery and an aircraft that's going to come up here and help here and Xi'an. But everybody else is going this way, except for I have one division that's going to hold this position right here. It's times 2 terrain jungle. In order to come into here, he'd have to do a shock attack. I think, I mean, I'm hoping a division can hold. Even if it doesn't, even if he sneaks in here, like smashes us out with something, then we can come in back into here with and besides, if I see a little pip showing he's marching this way, because I do have recon flying here, if he has troops coming this way, we'll spot it and we can always back into here very quickly. The tanks we have here move very fast and on these roads, so they'll get here in one turn. All right, China, again, static. I try to look for little movement pips, but the only thing is that China doesn't have good reconnaissance, so I can't tell if he's doing something or not. Now it looks like he snuck into here. If he marched across here, which he did not do, I was gonna say if he marched across here, it would have been a shock attack, but that's not how it worked. So what do we got here? We got some forts, just not all forts, and it looks like I'm gonna leave these. Well, I'll just form them up. It doesn't matter. Look at that. Maybe I won't on that one. Um, but yeah, it does. It's fine. This he's gonna bombard, test out what we got, and then attack, and we'll get smashed out of here. Hopefully back into Xi'an. Um. Anyway, but and then in the north, he's chasing us down some more up there. Gonna keep pushing us back toward Lanchao. And I believe I have some more guys heading that way. Um, very slowly, I guess. Trying to figure out supply is terrible. Um, but it is anyway. I mean, it's China and he's got the upper hand as far as blah. What I really need is Rangoon reopen this road and then we can the Burma road and then we can get the extra 500 supply every turn. That would help a lot. But in order to do that, I'm going to need some kind of navy or something because he's just going to bombard us every day. Um, Now, if we could take this and just keep steamrolling down, then he can then that's safe in the sense that if he bombards it, it's whatever. Um, but anyway, we're bringing in supplies to Akyab. That's trickling down here. We've got over 52,000 supply here, and then it's hopefully dispersing to some of these critical airfields. This one just never gets enough air supply, and yeah, um, I guess that's about it. But um, and this Indian division is just not rebuilding for whatever reason. But anyway, for now I'm gonna call it here. But yeah, one more thing real quick. Take a look at this. We got I opted to go with all 3 destroyers because the speed is fine. They're all going 15 at the cruise speed, and they have the range. So we're just gonna go in like this, check out what we can find, go up here, harass whatever's look whatever's in this area. We are going to chase down anything within 3, hopefully anyway. Get in here and literally trace the um, return trip back this way, and hopefully pick off some ships while we're doing it. We're going about, I'm gonna say 8 to 9 hexes per day. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna guess that if he spots us, it's gonna be in this area. In other words, we got one more turn to sneak in undetected, but there's no guarantee he'll spot us either anyway because we've got these smaller destroyers. I think you can go under the radar sometimes with smaller task forces and smaller ships. However, don't quote me on that. It's very possible that he'll spot us as we come in here and we won't get any surprise. We may come all the way up here and return and not get one ship because he may park them in port because he sees us coming. But I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping it's not a wasted trip. But if it is, in other words, if we use up all this fuel just to come here and go back, no effect, I won't be too upset. Not at all. Anyway, thanks everyone. Looking forward to the next few days. And real quick, I just wanted to point one more thing out, if I may. Oops. So here we are in April. So these are the new aircraft coming up. Check this out. F6, F3 Hellcats. We're already almost ready. I need one more day and we can start upgrading our U.S. Navy, our carrier fighters. That'll be really cool. And then we're slowly building some of these other types of aircraft. Um, very slowly, but um, but yeah, we're getting a lot of PV1 Venturas. Uh, it feels like can't ever get enough of these B-24D1s or B-25D1s. But we're getting F4U1 Corsairs as well, mostly used by the Marines at this stage, and yeah, Kitty Hawk 3s. But that's the latest for our air unit situation. And yeah, these Dakota 3s feel like they're taking forever. But as soon as I get basically a month passes and I get 16 of these, I'm going to start upgrading some of these British um, air transports because 6,000 load, they'll be able to carry a lot more across into China. That'll be huge in my opinion. And then also we need to replace some of these Wellingtons, but they come in at like one every 5 days. And I mean, it's been more than 5 days and we have zero. That doesn't make sense to me. But I mean, it is what it is. Uh, however, anyway, it'll be nice to get some of these um, Wellington BXs up. All right, that's enough rambling for me. I'll see you next time when we talk about April 9. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.